Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to study strike under the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Let us understand the definition of strike under Section 2Q of the Industrial Dispute Act. A strike means cessation of work by body of persons employed in any industry acting in combination or concerted refusal under a common understanding of any number of persons who are or have been so employed to continue to work or to accept the employment. From this definition, we are getting these essential elements of the strike. Strike means stopping of the work. The stopping of the work should be by a body of persons. Such body of persons should be employed in any industry. Such body of persons must be acting in combination. There must be concerted refusal or a planned refusal under a common understanding by such body of persons. Such body of persons must be comprised of those persons who are or who have been employed, and the purpose and aim of the refusal is not to continue the work or to accept the employment until the demand of the employees are fulfilled. So from this definition, it is clear that a strike is by a body of persons and a single person's refusal to work is not a strike. Further, for the purpose of calling a particular cessation of work as a strike, it must have occurred in an industry. Otherwise, it cannot be called as a strike. And the stopping or cessation of work is a concerted action or it is a refusal under a common understanding. Let us understand this one example here. Suppose on a particular day, 15 workers out of 20 remain absent for some different genuine reasons. The absence of all these workmen cannot be called as a strike because there is no common understanding between them to refuse the work. Object of the strike. Strike is the weapon in the hands of the workers. It is a right vested in the workers. However, this right is not a fundamental right guaranteed by the Constitution of India. It is restricted with several conditions. Strike is the last resort to the workers to achieve their demands. Generally, the trade union put their demands before the employer. The conciliation takes between the workers and the management. If the discussion between the management and the workers proves useless and the trade union fails to achieve the collective bargaining, and if there is no any fruitful settlement with the management, then the trade union gives strike notice to the employer. Strike is a threat and weapon in the hands of the workers. It is used for getting the benefits for the workers, such as enhancement of the wages, to improve the working condition, to obtain house accommodation, or to get medical facilities, or to resist the atrocities of the management. Strike is a recognized weapon of the employees. It paves the way to the collective bargaining. It also increases the collective bargaining power with them. If the majority of workers participate in the strike, the employer comes down to terms of the workers and compromise with them. It is the principle of collective bargaining, which we can see in the strike. Let us understand the types of strike. General strike, stay-in strike or a sit-down strike, pen-down strike or tool-down strike, go-slow strike, go-speed strike, hunger strike, sympathetic strike, and Gherao. Let us one by one understand all these types. General strike. A general strike is said to be a legal strike since it follows all the protocols which are stated under the Industrial Dispute Act, like as the name itself indicates, The workers of an establishment first gives their strike notice to the employer. On failing the talk, they launch strike with the effect from the date which they fixed in the strike notice. Generally, all the trade unions participate in such kind of general strike in order to achieve their demands. It is the legal strike. Next is stay in strike or sit down strike. In such type of strike, the employees occupy the usual position in the establishment, but they do not work. They simply sit down in their seats and positions or stay in the premises of the industry. They get first their attendance marked in the attendance registered, and thereafter they sit just like idle and do nothing. This causes the stoppage in production. It puts the employer in loss. It is considered generally a illegal strike. Pen down or tool down strike. It is equal to the stay in strike or a sit down strike. In pen down strike, generally it occurs within the white collar job circles like banks or government offices, and the tool down strikes generally occurs in the production industries like factories and other similar organizations. Next is go slow strike. This go slow strike reflects the annoyance of the workers towards the management. The workers attend their duties as usual and sit or stand in their usual places. They also attend their duties, but in fact they do nothing. They use delayed tactics. They act that they are working, but in reality no production comes out. As a result, the rate of production comes down. It shows their dissatisfaction towards the employer. At the same time, they claim full wages. The result is go slow strike is most harmful to the management than the total cessation of the work by the general strike. Because in general strike, no wages are paid to the workers by the management, but in go slow strike, the employer is bound to pay the wages besides the losses in the production. Further, due to the go slow strike, the parts of the machines may also be damaged. Now, go speed strike. This is a new technical strike. It also reflects the annoyance of the workers towards the management. Of course, this type of strike is not yet found in India. It is found generally in Japan. The workers first give their notice to the management in writing on certain demands. They also give certain time to implement their demands. If the demands are neglected by the management, the workers put small black patches on their shirts and work hard and increase the production of the industry. This increase in the production shows their displeasure against their employer. It is called go speed strike. They continue to work beyond the working hours. This is a unique situation. The employer is humiliated under such circumstances before the society. Further, he has to face problems in supplying the raw materials and go down problems in stocking the finished products. Even they face the marketing problems also, which leads to economical problems. He comes down to compromise with the workers. Hunger strike. As we know, Mahatma Gandhi taught the concept of this hunger strike to the world. Now he used it as a weapon in industrial jurisprudence. In some of the industries, the workers are compelled to go to the hunger strike to get their demand implemented. There are several examples. It is adopted in the rarest of the rare case. Even we know the example that Mahatma Gandhi sat for hunger strike and got success against the British ruler every time. Even our social activist Anna Hazare, he declared a hunger strike on 16th March 2011, demanding to enact Jana Lokpal Act. Entire country backed him. Within 4 days, the central government came down and agreed to start the process, and the process is already started. But it seems that the weapon of hunger strike has been used for political purposes only. It is not successfully used in the industrial sectors. Let us understand the sympathetic strike. It is a strike in which the striking workmen have no demand or grievances of their own against their employer. They may go on strike for the purpose of directly aiding or supporting others in their cause. This type of strike is conducted in support of other workers who are on strike. Gherao is also one of the type of strike. This word Gherao is not an English term. It is derived from the Sanskrit term gher or geri, which means covered or enriched. Here, Gherao is a collective action initiated by a group of workers under which the management members are obstructed or prohibited from leaving the industrial establishment premises. The main object of Gherao is to compel the employer to accept the demands of the employees by threats or coercive methods. Gherao is not a recognized strike. It is condemned by the Supreme Court and also the labor jurisprudence. Gherao is not an offense. Sometimes it may include violence also. However, this term is not defined as an offense in the Indian Penal Code or under any other law. Under Section 17 of the Indian Trade Union Act 1926, it provides immunity to an officer or a member of a registered trade union from punishment under Section 120B of the Indian Penal Code. But this section does not give any immunity to the workers of a registered trade union who commits Gherao accompanied with other offences defined under Indian Penal Code 1860. An agreement to commit an offence will never be excused. Therefore, the Indian law regulating the trade unionism, violence, mischief, intimidation, or the commission of the offences against the criminal law are excluded from the protection of the trade union law. So this all the types of strike we just understood. If you have any question, ask me, or you may contact me on this given email ID. Thank you very much.